guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Shai, and today we're having such an incredible being and friend and healer with us, and I think it's gonna be so interesting. So today we have Shalva joining us. Shalva is a great healer. She practices Kabbala, and all different crazy, amazing methods of just reaching out and helping people. So it's going to be so interesting to talk about all these different tools. And for me, what's interesting more, especially coming from Israel and not exploring this, is mostly Kabbala. But we're going to explore all this realm. So, welcome.
Thank you, Shai. Hello.
And also thank you for hosting me, like we're in your place. And it's such a beautiful place.
Thank you. So, first of all, I would like to say that I'm not really a healer. I'm a healing facilitator. I don't think anyone can call himself a healer, because the only healer is God, or the divine light, or divine source, or whatever you want to call it. And second, I'm not practicing Kabbala, I'm learning Kabbala. I've always been interested by the esoteric part of the Torah, that it has so much to teach us and so many incredible tools to facilitate healing, which is the path that I've been explored for so many years. So just a few precision. So the main thing that I'm practicing today are actually, so I approach people with a few tools, which are transpersonal hypnotherapy, which is the most holistic branch of hypnotherapy. The other thing is quantum shift, is a method that helps track the negative patterns that we can have on the mental and emotional level, and I teach how to shift them. I'm teaching myself in the same time. I love this tool because among all the things that I learned is the tool that I'm still using every day for myself. And I love it also because it allows you to become your own healer. For yourself, you're allowed to call yourself your own healer, because it's just about getting aligned and being able to channel the divine within yourself. And the other one is the shamanic aspect. The main thing that I'm doing in shamanism is, with a shamanic approach, is something called soul retrieval. So those are the three tools that I'm approaching healing with today. But I learned many other type of healing, and everything that I'm doing, actually I'm mixing everything, and it's more like, I call that more today holistic healing than anything in particular,
Yeah. This is very interesting. Can you talk more about quantum shift? Just because I don't understand.
Yeah, quantum shift actually, it's a method that is using the experiments that have been done in quantum physics, and the two main things that we take from those experiments is that the fact that when you observe something, when you observe an event, you are changing the reality by your observation.
Okay.
So the way you see something is going to create a different reality. So I explain this. I don't have time now to explain it long, but basically this. And the second thing is that we create our reality in real time at every second. And we can see that even in the Torah. We say, Amichadesh, Hashem is renewing, God is renewing the world at every instant. Like the world is not like a creation, it is a continuity, like, you know, happened a few million years ago and now it's continuing. No, actually, it's the whole thing is recreating itself at every instant. And so we too have the power to do that. So every time we send different data to the universe, we are recreating a new different we are sending different data, so we are getting different outcome. I was looking for a word more, but you know, outcome. And then so the moment you decide that you don't want to follow this old pattern anymore, but now you want to integrate a new different pattern that suits you better and serves you better, then you're sending a new data to the universe, and the universe is sending you instantly a new reality, like mirroring you a new reality. And so it's working so well that, like, it looks so simple, and if I hadn't done it on myself so many times, I wouldn't believe it can be so simple. Like, just like I realized that this is a negative pattern. I'm sending the information now to my body that I'm not interested by this pattern anymore, and I'm entering a new pattern, positive pattern, and that's it. And that's it. And then I see how people instantly react differently to me.
Because it's different vibration.
Yeah. So because everything in the end of the day, everything is about the frequency that you emit, the information. This is the data that you're sending to the world. So which frequency you are at right now. So it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how you dress, how you behave. Nothing. None of this matters. What matters is the frequency that you emit right now. So if you say, even this, you can see it when you have kids, it's phenomenal because they send you the reaction instantly. Like you come and you say, the first time I realized that the most, when I got this realization, I had my third baby. She was like few days old, and my second one was like not even 2 years old. And she was crying because she wanted to sleep with me, and the last baby wanted also to, I wanted to sleep with the last baby because I was breastfeeding and I couldn't sleep with both of them. I was exhausted. So I was telling my second one, you know, mommy loves you so much and you're so important. You're the most important in the world for mommy. Of course you're the most important. Okay, but she was keeping crying and cringing. No, I want to sleep with you. I want to sleep with you. And then I realized that actually she was not believing me because I was not meaning it. So it didn't matter how many times I said it to her, like it didn't enter her system. So I realized I was already a little bit into quantum shift, but not that much at this moment. I was just beginning. I said, you know what? I will, from now on, in my head, I will say for real, she's the most important, she's the priority. Okay, now it's set in my head, she's the priority, and the baby can arrange, you know, herself. And then I talk again to her and say, you know, my love, you're the priority for mommy. You know, you're the most important, and you know, if you really need to sleep with mommy, it's okay. But I hope you can understand that. From this day on, she never came back. She never asked nothing again. It was over, finished, because she picked up on the vibration, not on what I was saying.
Yes.
On the vibration that I was emitting when I was. It doesn't matter what you say.
That's amazing.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
This is like the realization that it's what you vibrate. It's what you feel, and so many many people are saying like, oh, I don't know why it happened to me, and all these random things and all these random relationships, when as a matter of fact it's just like, it's not that you're asking for it like in your mind, but actually it's what you're calling for.
Yeah.
It's like your vibration is like, it's obvious these things gonna appear in that kind of vibration.
Yeah.
Do you see this?
Yeah, of course we can see it also, you know, in cases where some people are attracting abusers, you know, and so you can say how those people are attracted. You know, this person is so respectful and such a nice person. How can she attract such an abuser in her life?
Yeah.
You know, but actually, this person, actually deep inside, she doesn't respect herself. okay, and this person is also in the same vibe of disrespect. So it doesn't matter that she respect other people, you know, and she's at some level, she, you know, still inside of her, she's stuck at this vibration where she doesn't respect herself, so she's going to attract this guy. The moment this abuser, the moment she will realize that and shift the disrespect towards herself, she will never attract this kind of situation anymore. And in the end of the day, every situation we are facing, it's always to challenge us and to see what we have actually inside.
Yes.
And so quantum shift is also teaching a tool which is called the mirror call.
Mirror call?
Mirror call, like the call of the mirror.
Yeah.
Like we always, you know, speak about this idea that the world is mirroring us, but we don't see really how it applies to us, you know. Like sometimes say, oh, you know, I can't stand this person, how disrespectful and everything, and me, I'm not like that, and you know, I'm not like that at all, I'm so
like denying it.
No, but like you can be so respectful and so make sure that you never disturb anyone.
Yeah.
So you don't see how this is a mirror for you, but still it disturbs you, you know, so much.
Yeah.
And so the moment you understand that this person actually is mirroring not all of you, but a part of yourself, because your personality is shared into many different aspects. There is the self-nurturing aspect, the self-guidance aspect, the self-beloved, the masculine one and the feminine one, and the creativity is a masculine creativity and the feminine creativity. So one of those aspects here is is entering in resonance with what's happening here, and for that reason you are reacting. You are reacting.
Yeah.
There is no reaction if there is no resonance.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to find out which of these aspect is resonating and what does it mean. And then you say, oh my God, I know why I'm reacting this. So with quantum shift, we give tools to know which part of your personality is actually reacting and resonating and why and how to shift it. And it's like so simple. It is like it's like, I don't know, but it's very fun.
Don't you think it's as complicated as human being, because we are vibrating something? And also, like, another thing that comes to my mind is like, do you think that we have like only one vibration, or it's just like a mix?
No, so at certain moment I can vibrate, like I can vibrate peace and whatever, and now something triggers me and I'm going to vibrate to be on a different vibration.
Yeah.
Because there is a trigger.
But it's like one frequency that we vibrate every second?
Yeah, you can change frequency, but basically there is, when we say there is a certain level of awareness, and this level of awareness has a certain frequency.
Yeah.
The way we raise our consciousness and we raise our awareness is by aligning ourselves in the best way possible, so we can raise that frequency. Because when we raise that frequency, I mean the frequency of your consciousness, then you can see the reality from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And then you can enter different worlds and different realms, and then you can act on the world with a total different power, and you can have a different impact, because then you're stepping into your power completely.
Yeah.
And you can see it also from a different angle.
And your power is to channel the divinity?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like that's
the most tricky thing I think we have to do. I mean, in our work on this earth, is how much you have to. It's very ironic, because you have to step into your power, and at the same time, you have to be aligned enough so you can make space for the divine light to go through. Okay, and then you're in this kind of constant readjustment, understanding what is exactly your part, stepping
like
into your power.
The human part.
Yeah, the human part. Like you step into your power, it means that you have a responsibility. You need to do something.
Yeah.
And being a keli, a receptor vessel for the divine source, it means that the divine intention to go and manifest through you.
Yeah, like what needs to be channeled through you.
Yes. And then the more you take responsibilities, because you were able to channel this, the more you take responsibilities, sometimes you forget exactly what's on your shoulders, and what's not.
Yes.
Because when you step into your power, you think that suddenly you might, the risk is that you might think that everything is on me, actually. Like, I have so much responsibility, I have so much to do, and you start to beat yourself up for not being able to do as much as you would like. And then if something happened that, you know, destroy all your plans, something like, you can feel like powerless, and then that's it, I failed, you know, and that's it, I withdraw and I don't do anything anymore. And actually, this is where humility is like a constant thing. Like, okay, you did everything, but there was some point where you were not, I mean, it was not in your hand anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so it's something that you have to readjust every day, and it's so difficult to do
Every
it.
moment.
Every moment.
Because like
every moment.
the craziest thing is that once you realize, like, so for example, you do the work, you raise your vibration, you channel more divinity, less human, but then like the more you think, oh, I'm not doing that, then the more you're really not doing it. Just because you said it, not because you weren't there, but just the fact that you are
You're
starting
judging
to
yourself,
you're judging yourself, you're starting to acknowledge like, oh, maybe I'm not as good, then you really are like lowering your vibration.
Yeah.
And the more that you say like, oh, like I'm in my powers, even if your vibration is still low, I'm in my powers, and like you're starting to act upon it, like you're starting to be that, then you empower yourself more and more, and you actually raise your vibration, and you channel divinity even more. And you know, it's something that I'm not sure that I shared probably like 100% with you guys, and Shalva maybe with you once or twice, but actually 2 days ago I had such an amazing thing happening for me, especially when I'm doing sessions, one-on-one sessions with people. Then in the beginning I feel my human part, just like asking questions and all that, but after some times I'm just like, I'm disappearing. I just like, I don't exist anymore. It's crazy. And 2 days ago what happened is I spent the whole day with someone, and I didn't know why. Like, honestly, I didn't understand why. We spent some time, we had lunch, and then we continued the whole day together. And she really wanted to work, and I wasn't like in the mood, so I was like, she started talking to me a lot. So after some time, the restaurant we sat in was closed already. And we sat even in the parking lot, and I told her like, hey, listen, like she didn't want to go, and I felt like I couldn't walk away from there. And we just sat there, and she's like, I told her like, I want to leave, but I can't. Like, there's a reason why I'm here. I don't know why. And so like, we just sat there, and she like talked, she was very talkative, she talked a lot. And all of a sudden, like, I started to just meditate. It felt like so hard. I started to realign my breath to my heart. I just started to breathe my heart. And after like a few minutes of just breathing to my heart, I started to lose me. Like, I don't have a need anymore. I don't have anything anymore. And I was just like sitting with her, and I felt this enormous energy coming through me. And I just started to tell her like all these things that she needed to hear. The words just came to me. I felt like I didn't do anything. And sometimes she asked something, and I'm like, I felt the resistance from my personality. I felt like, no, it's ridiculous. You can't say this. She's gonna judge it and all that. And then the other side, like, you have to say this. It's like you have to say this. It's not in your powers now. It's like, let me say. And like, I said all these things, and I'm like, and then I stopped noticing shy part. It was so powerful. And then at the end, like, she said like, I don't want it anymore. Like, it's too much for me. Oh, and in the middle, before she said that, in the middle, I felt like in order for me to really channel purely for her, I felt like more energy is coming through me. And I felt like I need to raise my vibration even more. So I couldn't do it because my body wasn't ready for this energy. I started to cry. It wasn't emotional. It's just like the energy was so powerful that I just couldn't stop crying. And then like I raised the vibration and it was gone. Like I was powerful enough to hold this energy. And then I continued. It was so was so powerful. And then like and the end, towards the end of it,
interesting things are happening in Bali, huh?
yeah, so much. And towards the end, like the reason why I'm telling this actually is because she told me like, hey, like after some time she started to judge all the process. She's like, you didn't ask for permission, and like it's not right. And I'm like, I told her like, you need to hear this, it's not about permission, you just need to hear this. And after some time she was resisting, and she said like, listen, I'm sure of myself, I want you to stop. And then like immediately I felt like Shai is coming, like, all right, I'm stopping this. So immediately everything vanished, everything was gone. I was just like coming back to being human again. But it was such a crazy, amazing experience. So I resonated with what you say so much. It's so, I just experienced this, so it's amazing.
All of those tools that we learn are just, an excuse. But actually the only real healing is coming through divine energy, and the only work we have to do is to make space for the divine energy to go through, and so we can hold space for the person to receive it. That's the only thing we have to do in the end of the day. So some people are less complicated than me and go for it directly. Me, I had this quest of searching for knowledge all my life, so I went to learn this and that. I couldn't stop, always feeling that I don't know enough. And in the end of the day, after learning all of this, and so I understand that it's not about what I know, it's about how much space I can give to the divine light.
So what are your current tools to raise your vibration and to actually become a clearer vessel?
First of all, whatever you eat, whatever you put in and whatever you put out. Okay, many of the laws that we have in the Torah, okay, we think that it's just like, oh my God, one more law and one more thing to do and one more thing not to do, and actually it has nothing to do with this. It all has to do with how to raise your vibration. So you take all the laws of kashrut, for example. Okay, when you eat kosher, there are certain things that you are not that are not recommended to eat. It's for a certain reason. Everything, as we said, we have a frequency, we have a vibration, but everything that exists also have a frequency and a certain vibration. So I've done some research in bioenergy about the frequency of each food that exists. And so you can see that like all the seafood and the things that are in the bottom of the sea and all the worms, but basically those things that are, ramping, you say ramping?
I'm not sure.
Like
crawling?
Crawling, and the things that are in the bottom of the sea, they are the lowest vibration. Then you have the wild animals, then you have the domestic animal, then you have the domestic animal that are kosher. You can see the list. I've done many research about this. And then you have the vegetables, then you have the organic vegetables, and then you have the sunflowers, and then you have some plants like medicinal plants, and then you have the essential oils, like rose essential oil is one of the highest. So basically the things that are not recommended to eat, there are things that not only you cannot extract the spark of light that is inside and the energy in order to get something out of it. Not only that you cannot do that, but you cannot even recycle. You cannot even recycle anything, any of this energy. It means that not only that you're not going to use it to get some energy, but you're going to drop. Your frequency is going to drop.
Because it's like matching the vibration that you're eating, or it's like how does it work?
Like it's going to take you down. It's going to bring you down. Okay. So there are certain frequencies that even if they are lower than you can recycle. You can recycle it and bring it up. And some things you just cannot.
So it's gonna stay there forever?
So there are certain things. We say that it stays in the blood for 7 years and then it's renewing. But it's not just on physical level, it's also in your aura, on spiritual level, and on energetic level, you understand?
Yeah.
So to clear this after it's a work.
Yeah.
But also it has other effects. We say that some of those things, for example, the shatzim, it says don't eat those because it's closing the heart chakra.
Oh.
It's closing. And in Kabbala, the heart is one of the important tool for deep understanding, for deep perception. So it's a way, it's a tool to have a vision, to have a very deep understanding. So people say, oh, me, I eat that, but I don't feel nothing. Of course you don't feel nothing because now you don't have this tool, you don't have this perception anymore, so you cannot feel it. But the more, even when you become vegetarian and you become vegan, you can feel that your vibration is completely different, and then suddenly you meditate better and you have different perception about everything, right?
You become more sensitive.
Yeah, you become more sensitive. So the same way, when you pay attention to all those things, for example, so you're vegan, you have to make sure that you don't eat worms.
Yeah.
Okay? So
organic.
Yeah, organic have even more worms,
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
So this is one example of the thing that you can do to raise your vibration. So you're working so much, thinking the right thing, having the positive attitude, and doing everything
but
right.
It's not enough.
And then you eat one worm, or you eat, and then you drop, because there are many different levels of reality. There is. You understand?
Yeah.
There is a reality that is happening on an energetic level, and you want it or not, you believe it or not, it's happening.
Yes.
When something is happening and you're responding, you're reacting because there is a resonance. The resonance is happening only when you are the same frequency.
Yeah. That's interesting. So, I want to ask more about the vibration and the thoughts and the power of thoughts.
Yeah,
with regards of vibration.
Yeah, so we spoke about the food. Now the thoughts. You're talking always about the positive thoughts, positive attitude. So this is, you're 100% there. Like whatever you allow to enter your brain.
Allow is a big word.
Yeah, you allow to enter your brain.
Because many people think like, oh, I'm thinking positive, but then I go to my parents and they're like, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. So you're not guarding enough your thoughts. You're allowing Yeah. So
but there is always a reason why we allow.
Yeah, that's part of your vibration. So it's not even
you can always shift that.
Yeah.
Why do I allow that? Now, why do I allow criticism?
Yeah.
And then you can shift that.
By just
because I criticize myself, I allow my environment to criticize me because I criticize myself. Okay, so at the moment I get aware of this, I say, okay, I face and embrace it. I'm criticizing myself now, and I'm ready to replace that feeling. That attitude, because this is not serving me. And then you enter a positive shift, and then you're gonna go back to your parents, and you're gonna do the same things that they were doing forever, but then suddenly you don't give a shit anymore.
Because that's
sorry.
That's the thing. Like, so many people are ignorant for that I don't know why I have all these problems in my life. I can't find a job. Like one of my clients, I can't find a job. So, like, first thing is to acknowledge that this is your vibration right now. It might be based on fears that are not serving you anymore. But I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that these fears came for some reason, and they served you for some years. So I from what I found is, like, by accepting these fears and understanding that it's important to take responsibility on the mirror that is reflecting a perfect representation of you. Yeah. It's just like a perfect representation of what you are right here, right now. And the fact that you are, it's not only like the reality itself, the mirror, it's more like what I'm attracted to in this reality, what I'm emotionally responding to, right? Like, so if, like, let's take for example, like, a parent that is discouraging this man. Okay. And so let's say I don't even, like, the person doesn't need to change, even the parent. But after some times he does, like, some work on himself or emotional work, then it's just like naturally in this vibration, this emotion reaction that was so dominant before, now it's just like gone. It's like the parent keeps saying the same things, but you're just not responding to it anymore.
Again, there is no more resonance because you changed frequency.
Yes. So how does it has to do with Kabbala actually?
Kabbala is a very wide wisdom that when you start learning it, you understand how every tool that is given to us is here actually to help us align, being in alignment with ourselves and not having imbalance. So there are things that we understand easily, like emotional imbalance or mental imbalance, but there are things that belong to a different level of reality that are more energetic reality, and we don't see so much. And so
we feel it though.
Sometimes we don't even feel it.
Because we are so not sensitive.
Because we lost the sensitivity.
Yes, because of the worms.
Because of whatever. and so you know, the fact that I'm in Bali actually helped me a lot, because here you are in touch with those different realm of reality, you know,
spirits.
Yeah, spirits and all those kind of things. And I don't want to go too crazy on this because people that don't live here, they don't always follow the thing. But you know, you are more in touch with the reality of what's happening on energetic level. You know, what you're creating in your aura when you do what you do.
Yes.
Okay. And because your aura is very charged with all the things that we, you know, that we create, that we emit. And so we think sometimes, you know, we have an issue and we put it, you know, in the back, like, okay, I don't want to think about this anymore. It's behind me now.
Yeah.
But it's actually really behind you. It's in your aura here behind you, yeah. And it's going with you everywhere, and it's sucking your energy. So it's very important to, you know, people ask me very often, so how do we know what is our mission in life?
Purpose
and everything. And I always say the first thing is to come back to a perfect balance on emotional and mental level.
And that can take like lifetimes.
It can take a lifetime, but that's the first thing. How do you want to tap into your life mission if you're not balanced emotionally and mentally? So this is a constant
100%.
work. We do it every day. I'm doing it every day. And I'm so happy that I have this tool that allow me now to, because before, I'm aware there is something, but I don't know what to do with it. Okay, so now I have tools that allow me, when I notice something, to shift and move on. Okay, and then the more I get rid of the extra weight that I don't need, the more I get lighter, the more I can step into my what's next? What do I want to do for the world? What do I want? How I want to? What impact I want to have? You understand?
So much. And it's like some things that I thought that are one of the things that I need to do before, after raising the vibration, after going through this process, like I see things differently. And I understand that I couldn't see that in lower vibration. So sometimes when I'm in low vibration or someone else is in low vibration, all that is necessary for them to do is somehow find a way through different tools to just raise the vibration and not think so much about purpose. The purpose will reveal itself. You'll understand it naturally when you raise the vibration, when you are in higher.
That's the whole purpose.
Yes.
This is when the fun starts. Right? Because before we're just busy cleaning the mess.
Yeah.
You know, that's all we do most of our life.
Yeah.
And sometimes many lifetimes. And this is something that I often see, you know, with hypnotherapy. When you take people back through different lifetimes, the thing that strikes the most people when they come back is like they realize how much the thing they are dealing with, the thing that are disturbing them the most, is something they've been dealing with in many lifetimes. And as long as they did not resolve this, they will keep reliving the same situation in different setting, in different time frame, until it's over.
So this is like the part that I feel it's a bit more harder, which is like past lifetimes. Like, okay, I can take responsibility of what I eat, I can take responsibility of what I'm thinking, I can see mirroring of my vibration in every moment. Like, I can see the people around me, the things that I'm attracted to emotionally. But then, like, there's the mysterious part, like the past lives. How can you handle past lives?
It's very simple. You start wherever you stopped before.
Okay.
So, in the end of your last lifetime, you finished at a certain level. So now you restart from there.
Like in a dream, like
you continue.
Yeah.
You just continue, and that's the thing that helps me.
So I don't really need to think about like if I was a pharaoh in like.
No, it doesn't matter really.
Because it's everything that's matter is right here, right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter at all. Sometimes it helps people because they can see. It helps them to see that whatever they're living now, the situation they're living now, it's not because of a bad conjuncture or the wrong configuration, or they're around in the wrong family or in the wrong country or in the wrong environment. And suddenly they see how all this setting is created for them to be able to face the challenge they have been avoiding all those lifetimes, or not be succeeding all those lifetimes, and now they are in a certain setting that will put pressure on them in order
to learn this,
in order for them to be forced to say, okay, now enough with this.
Yes.
Enough with this. And as long as you're not in a situation of pressure, you're not dealing with anything. Like you can, someone with insecurity, okay, lack of self-confidence. He's born in a house where the parents, they always tell him, oh, you're so nice and you're so brave and you're blah 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 blah. It doesn't. You will see those people, they grow up and they still have the lack of self-confidence. It doesn't matter how much their parents were nice, because it's inside of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if they are born now in a family where the parents are telling them, you're nothing, you're a piece of rubber, and they grow up and think, yeah, I'm like this because my parents, of course, they raised me like that, so what do you want me to be?
Yeah.
Until the day they finally realize it has nothing to do with the parents, but with the, something that is much deeper inside. Because of the situation of facing such a struggle on the, they're getting a mirror that is so harsh that at some point they're gonna stand up and say, "That's not true. I'm not nothing. I'm something. I worth something." And then they stand up and they go and get this insurance and this confidence because they think that it's not true. They worth something.
Yeah.
You understand? So they facing a situation of pressure that force them to stand up for themselves.
So it's like, you're gonna have to learn, like it's gonna force you, like even if you don't learn it like subtly.
If you want to learn with a nice way, you can.
Yeah, you don't have to work through difficulties.
Yeah, you don't have to. Now if you're the kind of person that needs to be a little bit pushed, then okay. But you choose this. You choose this before you come. You choose this. You choose the situation. You choose the parents. You choose.
So how can you, this is where it gets interesting, because how do you explain then, like babies get some disease, or baby gets like really bad karma, you can say, or bad like situations happening for themselves? Do you still believe it's like just a way for them to grow in some way, or handicap people, like
even as baby we learn, we go through experience and we learn things, and it's also something to learn from the parent. that's more even difficult to handle for the parents.
So it's like learning process, not only for, that's the problem. The problem is not about, it's not I alone exist.
No,
it's about
for all the environment.
It's co-creation.
Yeah, for the sisters and the brother, they are going to, all their life is going
so
to
sometimes
change
I need
because
to
of that.
suffer for someone else to learn something.
No, there is not such a thing. There is no such a thing.
Okay.
There is
So
no
the
such a
baby
thing.
like
No, the
was
baby
born.
has his own account.
Yeah.
There is no such a thing he's coming to suffer in order for you to learn something.
Okay.
Okay, sometimes some souls are coming to help. They have nothing, that's it, they are done, but they are coming in order to help.
Okay.
So they choose, okay, I put myself in this situation because I choose now that I need to go help this person.
Mm-hmm.
So they choose.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if it's not out of choice, there's no such a thing. I'm like,
Suffer
I
for
get
other.
sacrificed for something else or for someone else.
So how can you explain
But
like
now there is
okay.
on collective level. It's a different
This is so
story.
complicated.
It's different story on collective level. I don't want to go there, because there are things that are happening to us, on collective level. It's a different story.
So like for example the Holocaust.
Yeah,
It's
this is
obvious.
collective
It's
level.
obvious.
This is a different story. But
Like I am a vegan and I think all these positive thoughts,
Yeah.
but I'm still experiencing.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But what you have to remember is that this lifetime is just a frame in the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
But most important thing, not to experience anything as a punishment.
As like a
There is
process.
no such a thing as a punishment. There is no
Yes.
such a thing as a punishment. Sometimes we are forced to go through a certain process in order to deliver something. Like when a woman is delivering a baby, the most awful moment is like 2 seconds before the birth.
Yeah.
Like, and then believe me, if we could go backward, we would. The only reason we continue to push through is because we know that there is no backward, no way. Understand? So this is the most, the best example. It was such an initiating journey for me to go through natural birth, because you're there and you understand that sometimes, the process is so hard, but the moment you know that there is no back, there is just go move forward, that's it. Sometimes it's the process of delivering a nation. Look what happened after, we created the state of Israel.
Yes, that's true. But many people suffered.
Of course, many people suffered, and most likely you and me were there. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's still very much into everyone's subconscious, and we all still deal with this feeling of what's fair and unfair, and with anger,
Yeah.
and this helped me a lot personally, going through hypnotherapy and to past lives to understand this feeling of huge anger and feeling of life isn't fair and everything.
Yeah.
And this is the magic of hypnotherapy, is that you can see a picture that is wider than just this time frame, of this lifetime.
This is so fascinating, but we're probably gonna have another conversation, at least one, because
Okay.
it's so fascinating for me. But for now, I think we have so much
Yeah.
downloads now.
Yes.
That's a lot. So, guys, thank you so much for listening and to being with us. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel and like the video if you enjoyed it and you found it important, and comment as well, because it's very important to interact with you and to understand like what did you feel and all these things. And if you have also questions for Shalva or for me, feel free to create this comment. We love you so much, Shalva. Thank you a lot. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Shai. Thank you, and thank you for listening, and see you next time.
Yes. Bye bye.
Bye.